Hi everyone. Audible at the last. Online students, am I audible? Okay, good afternoon to all of you. So today we are going to learn about a couple of concepts in programming. Have I told you about break and continue? Break and continue, no, right? So let's start by seeing the use of break and continue. There are two statements or two keywords in Java which are used very often in programming. And let's see what is the use. Let's start by knowing the use of break. First of all, I will be writing a loop maybe for int I is equal to 1. Can you write a program to print 1 to 5 or 1 to 7? Please write this program quickly. Write a Java program to print this output. 1 to 7 you have to print. Write quickly. Write by using a for loop. Okay, please see here. What we have to do is we have to print from 1 to 7. Okay, this is what we need to do. So we know that whenever we have to do the same work again and again, what we use the concept called as loop. So if we have to print this without the loop, we can say something like system.out.println 1, system.out.println 2, println 3, println 4, println 5, println 6, and println 7 we can say. But that will be what? That will be redundant code, repeated code. And in the world of programming, we should try to avoid the redundant code as much as possible. And for doing that, we have the concept called as loop. Whenever we have to avoid the redundant code, we can use the concept of loop. Guys, last one. See, the problem is not that we are not able to solve or do something like that. The problem is we are not even trying. When I go to some places, people start writing anything and everything. I don't mind if you are writing the wrong thing. But the problem is when the thing is being taught, you are not trying to listen. So if we have some problem, we have to clear that problem, right? Why we are at KodNest? Because we wanted to get skills and ultimately get a job. Don't make it a routine. Come here, sit in the class, go back. Better, stay out only. But if you are present in the class, make sure you are utilizing. So anyways, since we have to start printing all this, for loop is going to accept a couple of things. First, we must tell the for loop from where it should start. That is the initialization. We are starting to print from 1. So I am going to tell for int I is equal to 1. Then I have to go until where? I have to go until 7. So I can say something like I is less than or equal to 7. Till then what I have to do? Keep on increasing the value of I. Also what I need to do is I need to print the value of I, because i's value is only starting from 1 going on till 7. So we are going to print the value of I. So I will say system dot out dot println. We are going to print the value of I. Why we are using println and not print? Because we want to keep changing the line after printing a particular number. So basically, if we are going to put this inside the main method and finally inside a class, we will be getting the desired output. But the thing is, we don't want to learn about this. We have already learned about this. If you would have revised, you would be able to solve. But anyways, what we want to learn about is break and continue. First, let's start by learning break. So maybe in the same program, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the break statement. Maybe I am having a loop like this. I'm having a program like this. And in this I'm printing the same thing, system dot out dot println. Maybe I am simply printing the value of I. Like this I am printing. But I am going to say something like this. If the value of I happens to be equal to 3, what I want to do is I want to break the loop. I'll do something like this. The job of the break statement is to take the control out of the loop. I repeat, the job of the break statement is to take the control out of the loop. It is going to basically break the loop. So how this program is going to execute is this. Again, whenever such programs is there, we must make a column for the value of our variable and maybe one column for the output. So maybe only one variable is there, that is I, and one column maybe I will have for the output. Okay. So the program will work something like this. Control will start over here. The value of I is equal to 1. After initialization of a for loop, condition is set, and the condition is I less than equal to 7. That means 1 is less than or equal to 7. 100% the condition is true, that is 1 is less than or equal to 7. The condition happens to be true. If the condition is true, what will happen? Control will go inside the loop. Inside the for loop, what are we checking? If I equal to 3, is the value of I, that is 1, equal to 3? Is 1 equal to 3? 1 is not equal to 3. So condition is false. If the condition inside if is false, if block will not be executed, control will skip the if block. So control, after skipping the if block, will go to the next statement. What are we doing? System.out.println I. Whatever is the value of I is going to be printed. 1 is going to be printed. Control has reached the end of the for loop. Once control reaches the end of a for loop, what happens? Updation happens. So control will go to the updation. I plus plus is going to happen. I plus plus means increase the value of I by 1. The value of I is going to become 2. After updation, what happens? Condition is checked. Again, condition will be checked. I is less than or equal to 7 or not. That means I means 2 is less than or equal to 7 or not. 100% 2 is less than 7. Condition is true. If the condition is true, what is going to happen? Control will come inside and again check. If I equal to 3, is I, that means 2 equal to 3? 2 is not equal to 3. Condition is false. If the condition inside if is false, control is going to skip the if block. Control will go to the next statement. System.out.println I. Onto the computer screen, it is going to print the value of I. That happens to be 2. Control will move forward. End of the loop. Updation will happen. I plus plus will happen. The value of I is going to become 3. After updation, condition will be checked. I less than equal to 7. That means is 3 less than or equal to 7. 100% 3 is less than 7. Condition is true. If the condition is true, control enters the loop. What are we checking? If I equal to 3, is I, that means 3, equal to 3? 100% 3 is equal to 3. Since the condition is true, control will enter the if part. Inside the if block, what is the statement we are having? We are having the break statement. The job of the break statement is to take the control out of the loop. So from here, control will directly go outside the loop. Control will directly go outside the loop. But before going out, what output we have got? We have got the output as 1 and 2. So this will be the output of the program. Okay, and of course, control will reach the end of the main method and go back to the behavior. So what is the job of break? The job of the break statement is to break the loop, break the complete loop, take the control out of the loop. Okay, please give the heading as break statement. Please give the heading as break statement. Please write the break statement. The break statement. The break statement is used to. The break statement is used to take the control. Take the control out of the innermost loop. The break statement is used to take the control out of the innermost loop. Out of the innermost loop. One more point. Break is one of the break is one of the break is one of the jump statements. Break is one of the jump statements in Java. Break is one of the jump statements in Java. Break is one of the jump statements in Java. Below that, please write the example. Okay. So similar to break, we also have another thing called as continue. Let's see what is the use of that. Maybe what I will do is I'll have a class. Okay, please listen for 5 minutes. Maybe we will have a class. The name of this class is going to be maybe continue demo. Inside this class, maybe I will be having a method, the main method. The main method of Java has to look like public, static, void, and main. The main method also accepts a string of arguments. Inside the main method, exactly same program we will have. Just one change we are going to make. That is, instead of break, we are going to have continue. So maybe what we are going to do is a loop we will have for int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 7, I plus plus. Inside this loop, what we are going to do is we are going to check for a condition. We will say if I is equal to 3, we are not going to break, but we are going to continue. After this, maybe the same statement I will like to print. Perhaps I am going to print system dot out dot println. Maybe we are going to print the value of I. I am going to close the for loop. I am going to close the main method. Also, I am going to close the class. So let's suppose this is a program for continue. Again, same steps we will follow. We will make a table having the variable name, one column for the output. So maybe we have I and one column is there for the output. Program is going to start when the JVM is going to call the main method. As soon as the control enters the main method, it is going to find a for loop. Very first thing in the for loop is the initialization. The value of I we are giving as 1. So I will be getting the value as 1. After initialization, condition is checked. Condition is telling us that I is less than or equal to 7. Is 1 less than 7? 100% 1 is less than 7. Condition is true. Control will come inside. If I equal to 3, is 1 equal to 3? No, 1 is not equal to 3. Control will skip this if block, go after the if block, where we are getting system.out.println I. The value of I, that is 1, is going to be printed. Control will move forward. It has reached the end of the for loop. Once control reaches the end of a for loop, what happens? Updation happens. I plus plus will happen. Hence, the value of I is going to become 2. After updation, again what will happen? Condition will be checked. That is, I is less than or equal to 7. 2 is less than 7. Condition is true. Control comes inside. Is 2 equal to 3? 2 is not equal to 3. Control will skip the if block and go to the system.out.println I. It is going to print 2. End of the for loop, updation will happen. I plus plus will happen. The value of I is going to become 3. After the updation, what happens? Condition is checked. Condition will be checked. 3 is less than equal to 7. 100% 3 is less than 7. Condition is true. Control goes inside. What are we doing? If I equal to 3, is the value of I equal to 3? The value of I happens to be 3. Condition is true. Since the condition is true, control is going to enter the if part. Inside if, what are we having? We are having continue. The job of continue is to skip only the current iteration. I repeat myself. The job of continue is to skip the current iteration. That means straight away after here, whatever is below this, that is not going to be executed. I repeat, Whatever is below continue inside the for loop, that part is not going to be executed. From continue, control is directly going to go to the updation part. From continue, where will the control go? Directly to the updation part. It is not going to execute what is below this. Okay. So from continue, where has the control gone? To I plus plus. That means what is going to happen? The value of I will be increased to 4. Rest of the program will go on normally. After updation, condition will be checked. 4 is less than equal to 7. Condition is true. Control goes inside. Is 4 equal to 3? No, 4 is not equal to 3. Control will skip the if part. What is the system.out.println I? It is going to print the value of I, that is 4. 4 will be printed. No more statements. Updation will happen. I plus plus will happen. The value of I is going to become 5. Condition will be checked. 5 is less than 7. Condition true. Control goes inside. Is 5 equal to 3? 5 is not equal to 3. Control skips the if block and prints the value of I, that is 5. End of the for loop. Once more updation will happen. I plus plus will happen. The value of I is going to become 6. Condition will be checked. 6 is less than 7. Condition is true. Control goes inside. Again check, is 6 equal to 3 or not. 6 is not equal to 3. Skip the if block and print the value of I, print 6. End of the loop. Updation will happen. I plus plus will happen. The value of I is going to become 7. Condition will be checked. Is 7 less than or equal to 7? 7 is not less than 7, but it is equal to 7. Control is going to go inside. Again check, is 7 equal to 3? Condition false. Skip the if part and print the value of I, that is 7. End of the for loop. Updation will happen. I plus plus, that means the value of I is going to become 8. Condition will be checked. Is I less than equal to 7? Is 8 less than or equal to 7? No. Condition will become false. And what is going to happen? Control is going to come out of the loop. Out of the loop is the end of the main method. Once control reaches the end of the main method, it goes back to the JVM program subject. So what is the output we have got? Output we have got is this: 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is our. So what does break do? Break is going to take the control out of the loop. The loop is not going to work any further, but continue is just going to skip the current iteration. Okay, it will straight away move the control to the updation statement. So whatever is below for that particular iteration will not work. So this is the use of continue. Please write a point about continue. Please write. Continue is a jump statement. Continue is a jump statement. Continue is a jump statement in Java. Continue is a jump statement in Java, which is used to continue is a jump statement in Java, which is used to skip the current iteration, which is used to skip the current iteration of the loop, which is used to skip the current iteration of the loop. Below that, you can write this as an example. Swaroop, break statement will take the control only out of the loop. System.exit will take the control out of the program. This a non-tech example also I would like to give you for this understanding the difference between break and continue. In our school, whenever we had our birthdays, we used to give the chocolates to each and everyone in the class. So once I was also having a birthday, so I was also distributing the chocolate. All the students were standing in a line, something like this. Let's suppose all these students were standing in the line. Okay, like this. So what I have to do is I have to distribute the chocolate to all these people. But one of these students, where maybe one of my enemies, maybe my crush's crush was there. So maybe this was the person. Of course, he was a devil. Okay. So what I am going to do is I am going to start distributing the chocolate. I will be distributing the chocolates to this particular person. It's a bigger than the person. I will then what I will do, I will go to the second person, give them the chocolate. But as soon as I see the okay, this person is there, what will happen? My mood is going to get spoiled. I will go what? I will go out of the class. No one else is going to get the chocolate. This is scenario one. This is what? This is the example for break. Let's see continue now what will happen. Maybe again some students are going to be there. Next birthday. Again, this person is going to be there. Okay. So once again, what I am going to do is I will start distributing chocolates to each and every person. So maybe to the first person I would have given the chocolate. To the second person I would have given the chocolate. Now I would have seen the third one. So again my mood would get spoiled and all. But now I am much more matured. I will think that okay, I am having he is my enemy. Why should the other people suffer? So what I will do is I will skip him and maybe I'll go to the next person. To him, I am going to give the chocolate. To the others also, I am going to give the chocolate. So except for him, except for the person I hate, I have given the chocolate for everyone. This is of course the example of continue. So break is going to do what? It is going to break the entire loop. After that, after the break condition, none of the other statements in the loop are going to be executed. But what is the use of continue? Only one it is going to skip. The others, before and after, not a problem. Only that particular section we are going to skip. Okay, so break is used to break the loop. Continue is somewhat skipping the loop, one iteration of the loop. Okay, please remember this. Write a question. Write a Java program. Write a Java program. Write a Java program to take a string. Write a Java program to take a string from the user. Write a Java program to take a string from the user and print the number of. Write a Java program to take string from the user and print the number of vowels. Print the number of vowels, consonants, digits, and other characters. Write a Java program to take a string from the user and print the number of vowels, consonants, digits, and other symbols. Okay, how many vowels are there in English? 5 are there. We have A, E, I, O, and U. How many consonants are there? Basic math. B, C, D, F, and so on. How many digits are there? How many digits are there? How many digits? 10 digits are there, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Symbols will include something like full stop, space, at the rate, hash, all of these things. That means anything apart from the letters or numbers will be considered as a other symbol. So what we need to do is we have to take a string from the user and print how many vowels are present, print how many consonants are present, how many digits are present, and how many other symbols are present. For example, let's suppose we have a string like this. Maybe my space name at the rate, maybe is full stop, and maybe then 12, something like this. Let's suppose this happens to be a string. How many vowels are present? Let's see. If we talk about the vowels, M is not a vowel, Y is not a vowel, E is a vowel, 1. 2 more E's are there, total 3 vowels are present. So in the V, we have to print that 3 vowels are present. How many consonants? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Consonants is equal to 6. How many digits are there? 1, 2, and 3. Total 3 digits are there. How many other characters are there? 1 space, 2 at the rate, again 3 space, 4, 5, 6. Others is equal to 6. So this is basically a program. We have to count the total number of vowels, consonants, digits, as well as the other special characters. Okay, this is the program. So can you try this? I will of course explain, but can you try? Can you try to think? First of all, same thing. First, convert your string into array of characters, traverse through that entire array and check, give some condition and increase these counters. 4 variables you will have to take, right? For 5 minutes at least, try to think. Okay. All right. Everyone, please here for some 5 minutes. Then you can continue. First of all, we can declare a class. We can have the main method. Inside the main method, we have to be ready to take the input from the user. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'll be creating a class. Perhaps call my class as counter or something. Counter app. My class in method public static void main. We know that main method in Java also accepts string of arguments. In this program, we also need to take input from the user. So we must import, maybe I'll say import Java dot util dot scan. First, we will have to create an object of the scanner class. For creating any object in Java, we have got a keyword called as new. New is followed by the name of the class whose object we have to create. This is going to accept system.in. Object will be created, address will be thrown, which we can store in a variable called as sc. Type of sc will be the type of object we are creating. That means it is going to be scanner. Object has been created. Now we can give a message to the user so that he can enter some string. Maybe I will say system dot out dot println. Perhaps I am going to say please enter a string. Whatever the user enters, we are going to accept that. To accept a string from the user, in the scanner class, we have got a method called as next line. Whenever we have to access the method of a class, we must use its reference variable. So I will be telling sc dot next line. This is how we can accept the string type value from the user. After accepting this value, we must store it in a variable. Perhaps I will have a variable as s. The type of s is of course going to be string. So now I am having my string. But as I have told you many a time, in the interviews, they are probably not going to allow you to use the inbuilt methods of the string class. Only one method you will be able to use, that is toChar array method. So first we are going to convert this string into an array of characters. So maybe for doing that, inside the string class, there is a very important method called as toChar array. Object of array will be created, address will be thrown, which we can store in a variable called as ch. The type of ch will be an array of characters like this. Now all our inputs, everything is ready. Let's see first of all how this is going to work. Okay, so the program will start when the JVM is going to give a call to the main method. Control will enter. An object for this scanner is going to be created. Control is going to move forward. What are we telling? Please enter a string. On our computer screen, it is going to print to enter a string. This I hope you have already written. So maybe onto our computer string, onto our computer screen, it is going to print, please enter a string. Maybe the user is going to enter some value now. Let's suppose the user is entering something like DEE31 at the rate hash space 34, maybe hello, full stop. Let's suppose the user has entered something like this. After writing this, the user is going to press enter. What are we doing next? Whatever the user has entered, we are storing in a variable called as S. So in the memory somewhere, what is going to happen? Of course, on the heap segment, what is going to happen is an object will be created. It will be having some address, let's assume 1000. Inside this object, this entire string will be stored. Right. And we are storing the address of the string in a variable called as S. So S will be having this address 1000, and hence it would be referring to this object present on this address 1000 like this. Control is going to move forward. Next line, what are we doing? We are converting that string into an array of characters. So once again, arrays are also objects only. So again, on the heap segment, what is going to happen is a block of memory will be allotted. Maybe I'll draw it here. This block of memory will be having some address. Let's assume it to be 2000. It will be having this as an array. So it will have something like T, 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 3, 1, space, at the rate, hash, space, 3, 4, space, H, E, L, L, O. This will of course be present as an array of characters. Arrays always have the index numbers, so everything will be getting its individual index. Space will also get its index. One full stop is also there. Okay. Of course, the index will be also having the numbers. Maybe index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So like these things are going to be represented in the memory. Address of the array we are storing in a variable called as ch. So ch will be having this address 2000. As soon as it is having the address, it would start referring to this object present on the address 2000 like this. This is what is going to happen in the memory. Control is going to move forward. We can start writing our logic now. One thing which we will have to do is traverse through this entire array. Only when we are starting from the first index going on till the last index, we will be able to count how many what are there. how many letters are there, how many consonants, how many digits, like that we will be able to count. But to store the counter, what do we need? We need some variables as well. So let's also declare some variables. Maybe I'll say for keeping a count of the total number of vowels, I will take a variable as 3. I will initialize it with 0. Maybe what I'm also going to do is in the same line also you can declare, in different lines also you can declare. Maybe I'll say int v is equal to 0. Another one for counting the consonants, I will initialize with 0. Another one for digits equal to 0. And one more we need for counting the other characters, special characters, who also equal to 0 I am going to tell. So now we are ready to start our logic. First of all, what do we want to do? Traverse through this entire array. So maybe we are going to take a for loop. From where I want to start? From the very first index I want to start. So maybe I'll say int I is equal to 0. I have to go until where? Till the very last index I have to go till. If you remember the array loops, same loop we will take here also. I is less than the name of my array, ch dot length. Till then I have to keep on increasing the value of I. What is the job of this loop? The job of this loop is to start from the very first index and one by one go until the last index. That is the job of this loop. Now that we are able to get each character individually, we are going to simply check whether that character is what vowel, consonant, and so on. For checking the vowel or consonant, first I will check one thing. I will check whether it is an alphabet or not. If it is an alphabet, that means between A to Z, then only we have to check whether it is A, E, I, O, U or the other characters. So to check whether the current character is an alphabet or not, I will be giving a condition. Maybe I'll say if the current character means ch of the index number, if ch of I, maybe I'll simply say, let's assume that I am considering that all the letters are small letters. Okay, like that I am considering. But we can also write for the capital letters. I will do the program for small letters. Maybe I'll say if ch is less than or equal to 8 and ch of I is greater than or equal to z. I am basically checking what? I am comparing the Unicode values, the ASCII code. Basically, I am comparing. I am checking the current character is there. If this current character is somewhere, it should be greater than, right? Greater than equal to z, greater than equal to a, and less than equal to z. That means it is coming after a, but before z. If this happens to be the case, then we know that it is going to be an alphabet. If this is the case, what do we know? We know that the particular character is going to be alphabet. As of now, what I will do is, in my array also, in my input also, I'll change it to small d. If we are able to do it for small, we will also be able to do it for the capital. Here also I'll make it small d. Okay. So again, as of now, we are not checking whether it is vowel or not, whether it is consonant or not. We are simply checking whether the current character happens to be an alphabet or not. It is between A to Z or not. If it is between A to Z, now we can surely go ahead and check whether it is a vowel or a consonant. If something is coming in this particular braces, if something is coming in this particular block, means what? That particular character happens to be an alphabet. Now let's write the condition for checking it is a vowel or not. What will be the condition for vowel? Maybe we are going to check if the current character is equal to A or the current character is equal to E or the current character is equal to I, or the current character is equal to O, or the current character equal to U. If any of these conditions are true, if any of these conditions are true, meaning that if the current character happens to be A or E or I or O or U, if any of these 5 conditions are true, what will we consider? We will consider that the current character happens to be a vowel. If the current character happens to be a vowel, we will increase the counter variable for the V. So if this happens to be the case, what we are going to do is, we are going to say V plus that. Else, if something is an alphabet but not a vowel, if something is an alphabet but not a vowel, what will that be? That will be a consonant. That means if something is between A to Z, but it is not A, E, I, O, U, that means it is not a vowel. If an alphabet is not a vowel, it will be a consonant. So what I am going to do is, I will say else, whose value are we going to increase? Consonant's value, that means we are going to say C plus plus. Okay, so we have taken care of 2 things. We have taken care of the vowels, we have taken care of the consonant. Again, what are we doing? We are first checking whether the current character is an alphabet or not. Only if it is an alphabet, we are checking it is a vowel or not. If it is a vowel, we are increasing the value of V. If it is not a vowel, we know that it will be a consonant, hence we are increasing the value of C. Now let's check it is a digit or not. So maybe I am going to say else if the current character, that means CH of I, is greater than or equal to 0, and the current character happens to be less than or equal to 9. But again, within single quote, we have to compare the Unicode values of the characters. If this happens to be the case, whose value are we going to increase? We are going to increase the value of D. We will say D plus plus. Okay, what are we checking? If the current character is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9, that will mean that it is a digit. And if it is a digit, what are we doing? We are increasing the value of D. Now you only tell me, if something is not a vowel or a consonant, something is not a digit, what will that be? That will be a special character. So maybe I am going to say else, whose value are we going to increase? The others value I am going to increase. Maybe I'll say O plus plus, something like this. This is going to be the logic for the program. Of course, we are also going to close the loop. So this is basically our logic. After this, after we are coming out of the loop, simply we need to print vowel count is equal to V, consonant count is equal to C, digits count is equal to D, and other characters count is equal to O. This is what we need to do. Once more, I am repeating it for you. Please listen carefully. What we have done is, we have taken a string from the user, stored it in a variable called as S. We have converted that string into an array of characters, and then we have got some counter variables. V is there to count the number of vowels, C is going to count the number of consonants, D will count the number of digits, and O is going to count the number of special or the other characters. I have created a loop which is going to traverse through our entire array of characters. It will start traversing from the very first index, go on till the last index. While traversing, we are checking for some conditions. What conditions are we checking for? We are first checking if the character, if the Unicode value of the character is greater than or equal to the Unicode value of small a and less than or equal to the Unicode value of small z. That means if the character is lying between A to Z. If it is lying between A to Z, one more condition we are checking. If it is between A to Z, also if it is either of A, E, I, O or U, in such a case, what are we doing? We are increasing the value of V, we are increasing the vowel count. But if it is an alphabet, but none of these, if it is an alphabet, but it is not A, E, I, O or U, we are telling that increase the value for the consonant counter. Finally, after checking for the alphabet, that means after checking for the vowels and the consonants, we are checking whether the current character happens to be between 0 and 9. Whether the Unicode value of the current character happens to be greater than or equal to the Unicode value of 0 and less than equal to the Unicode value of 9. If this happens to be the case, we are increasing the value of D. If it is not an alphabet, if it is not a number, 100% it will be a special character. So we are increasing the value of O. After this, what we will have to do? We will have to simply write the printing code. Okay. After printing, we can close the main method and we can also close the class. This is going to be our program. Okay. I have written it to you. I have explained the logic. It's your duty to have the dry run table for this. Okay. Please first write the program, execute it on your computer, and then make the dry run table for this. Nidan should try to declare without single quote. Let's see. Space is also we are considering as the special character in this program now. Yeah. Yes, Sarup, you can do that. Or in the same if statement, you can add a couple of more conditions. Or before even comparing, you can convert the string into lowercase letters. All right. So that will be all for today. You can mark the attendance. Thanks. Sarup, in some it will be allowed, in some it will not be allowed. Without using that, you can work on the Unicode values to convert lower to upper or upper to lower. As you can mark the attendance in the television. Okay, that will be all for today. Thank you for taking your time out on Saturday. Do enjoy the day. Take a walk in some of the park and get back to the studies. Okay, let's meet on Monday. Whenever that particular condition is true, Pawan, you can simply print the value of I. You will get to know the index where we are increasing the value of V. The same place you can try to print I.